I'll show you how to replace a bezel on a laptop. Now this will help you for any laptop, but I'm just going to show you the general consensus on how you replace a bezel and what to look out for, how to take care of your laptop. So basically I'm going to show you how to do that. This is a Samsung R530, but again it doesn't matter what laptop it is, just use a slight variation to what I'm showing you, but mainly what you've got is your laptop screen, and this one is cracked here, or maybe you want to obviously the majority of the time you're going to do this repair when you replace the broken screen. The screen is fine, just a crack on the top left, which is unusual on this sort of replacement. But yeah, mainly you're going to have your screws at the bottom left and right, but that's usually on the older laptops. Nowadays you just don't get any screws. They just pressed on with clips, but this one does. So obviously the older laptops are a bit more complicated because they have screws involved. So on this particular one I'm going to get a spatula tool, and then also you're going to use a Phillips screwdriver on most laptops. Again, no, not most laptops, I mean on the laptops that have screws on them. Usually won't need to have access to a screwdriver to remove the bezel, but when you go down to the screen itself, you're going to need a screwdriver. So this one does have screws, so I'm going to use a spatula tool to take these rubber studs off. As you can see, you've got underneath those are hiding screws, so I'm going to take that off. There will be a screw underneath this one here, so underneath this rubber stud. Then this one over here. And then top right. So always take great care, obviously. Try not to lose the studs or any plastic. There'll probably also be, if not studs, then there'll probably be plastic flat caps, which is most likely going to be, this is quite on laptop, so this is why you've got studs on it, which are very rare nowadays. There'll probably be plastic caps if there is something, if there are screws holding the bezel in place. So what I'm going to do is so what you want to do, obviously my bezel is going to go in the bin, so but your one, you obviously want to make sure you do the repair so that you want to obviously reuse the bezel. So you want to take great care doing so. And so usually when you take the bezel off for repair, you're going to be doing the screen 9 times out of 10. So you want to protect the screen. But in my case, I'm not going to use the bezel, but I'm going to keep the screen. So the priorities are reversed in my repair. But what you want to do, you want to take great care and not split the clips, which are underneath the bezel, that clip onto the back panel here, and that's what attaches the bezel into place. So what you want to do, you want to put your spatula tool inside, and then, or even better, use an old credit card, like so. And what you want to do is you want to place that. Make sure it's an old unused credit card, expired credit card. And this is plastic, so this is a whole lot more flexible, and it won't damage the parts. So you want to do is find the gap and gently slide it through, or just go like this. Just bring it forward, and then it would like that, and it will release the clips, and it's much more allows a lot more play than a metal tool, and bigger margin for error as well. It wouldn't damage your equipment. So doing that just now. Like I said, it doesn't matter about my bezel in this case, but in your case it does. So you want to be careful not to split anything for sure. This is split, but that was already like that. I'm replacing the bezel in my instance. So again, you want to place the card underneath, and you want to. It can be a bit fiddly and a bit stubborn. To release the clips of the bezel, you want to keep plodding away. Sometimes the plastic card can be a bit too soft and flexible, so you want to revert back to the metal tool. So again, you go underneath and then use your hands as well, and just kind of like about this height. In case you've got 2 more screws at the top here, just noticed I didn't think there were screws underneath them. These rubber studs. Never seen a laptop with 6 screws on the bezel. That's very, very rare. You would not be you're very likely. It's very likely that you won't be having to do that. So again, replacing the. Go back to the card actually. Yeah. So what you want to do, you want to place the card and pull towards you. Now release the clips. You can also go through the top as well, so you can apply the tool at the top from the outside, and then push away from you like that. See there, you can see the clips. These clips are the ones that are being pressed inside here. Sometimes they do end up breaking, but you can't do much about that sometimes. Make sure you don't overdo it, and go as slow as possible, less strength as possible. So usually the tops are the hardest to get off. That's it. Continue on down there. Just pull. When it comes to the bottom, you can just pull with your fingers. That's you know. I mean, you're pretty much safe doing that. There you go. Yeah. So that's taken off now. I'm going to bin that, and then that's the new one. So now I'm going to place this new one on top like that. These curved grooves here that cover the wires and the hinges, these are sometimes a bit the most difficult part of the job sometimes, after taking the bezel off, second most difficult thing. So to stretch them so that they come in, that they fill in. And just press on the left like that. I'm not going to put the screws in on this one because it's not required. It's just, you don't need 6 screws in this. So probably be more like your job then, as I said, because new laptops do not have screws in them. Then just press down. Press quite firmly, let the clips go back into place. As you can see there, you want to press in there like that, quite firmly. That the clip grooves go into the clips go into the grooves, and on the side as well. Make sure there's no cables hanging out the bottom right and the left. So you've got the antenna cables coming down this side. The Wi-Fi, make sure that those are well hidden, because those can be a bit of a pain. And you don't press, and they're not sticking out, and you're pressing onto them, cutting through to the cable. And watch the LCD cable on this side as well. Turn it sideways and make sure there's no gaps, not much gap between the bezel and the screen. That's another way of testing to see if you've got it on improperly. Another thing to do is to turn it this way. Once you've done that, you want to turn it, close it, and you want to see the rear. And you want to, can you see these gaps here? You want to press those down. Here it clip to place. There you go. Yep. And one more. Oh. There you go, it's all sorted now. So that's how you put in a replace your bezel on your laptop. Doesn't matter what model, it's the same whether it's got screws in it or not. Process, pretty much the principal process is the same. You know, you've got to be careful taking off the bezel, and because it can easily bend as well. plastic can bend. It's made of plastic. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. Hope this has helped you. Any questions or comments, please reach out, subscribe. Thank you very much. Have a great day.